Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm actually streaming now. Let me make sure. Okay, I think it's all working. Excellent. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if the volume levels are good. I'm watching the chat. I have the text set to a nice big size so I can see it even from back here. So today I am going to be playing. Get this off for a second. I should mute my speakers if I don't want echo. Okay, there we go. So, hi everyone. My name is Dee, and this is the poorly named Everyday VR. And I am back after a hiatus. I'm going to explain what that was all about right after I jump in headset. Long story short, I just got an excellent new job at Facebook working on Facebook Spaces, the social VR app. I'm really excited about that. It's a great team, it's a great product, and I really think it's going to help bring a lot of people together, especially once they start to scale up to more and more people. So today, though, I'm going to be playing Lone Echo. Lone Echo is a space adventure based around zero gravity locomotion mechanics. It is from a studio called Ready at Dawn, who's done a number of other cool projects. And I'm going to go ahead and jump in the headset. Today I'm using the Oculus Mirror app. It's kind of upside down, but it's able to capture everything I'm doing in the headset and a little bit more vertical field of view than in previous playthroughs because I'm using the Mirror app instead of just capturing um, the game's mirror window, which is very restrictive. Anyway, jumping in the headset, and I will see you guys in a minute. Okay, my controllers are glitching out because the sensors can barely see them. So here is Oculus Home. I'm going to turn on the radio so we can test the audio. There we go. Something a little danceable, some jazzy music. So this is the new Oculus Home environment, if you haven't seen it. Guys, let me know if all the volume levels are correct, if you can hear me, if you can hear the music. And so the new Oculus Home environment, you can switch between the new one and the old one. And the old one is just the standard, like you're in a room, you're sitting on a carpet, and there's things around you. It's a modern apartment kind of space. Here you're kind of out on a patio, and the apartment's like behind you, but it's a different apartment. And there's a pond, and there's a little thing that looks like it's kind of a pool by the edge of the building. Looks extremely dangerous. And a little radio over here you can play with. Occasionally they'll put other things in here based on what games they happen to be featuring at the time. Anyway, so I really hope I'm streaming correctly now. I think I am. All my volume levels look okay. Okay, volumes are good, they say. All right, I'm going to go ahead and launch into the game, Lone Echo. One of the really cool things about using the Oculus Mirror window, you can see everything I'm doing. You can see Oculus Home. You can see even when I go into the Oculus menu, which I'm going to go into it in a second. Dramatic music, Ready at Dawn. I'm trying to remember what else Ready at Dawn did. I didn't do enough research for this episode. So you can see I have my 4 sensors, my left and right touch controllers, and my Rift headset. Got these cool robot hands going on. There's some inverse kinematics on these arms, so they don't always exactly match what I'm doing with my real elbows. But that's okay. They do a pretty good job. Because my elbows aren't tracked, obviously. Only my hands and my head are. So if I drop into the Oculus menu, you can see my left and right touch are connected and full on battery, as they should be before a stream. If I go into Reset View, you'll see where my sensors are. There's one on my desk. That's the one I use when I'm seated. One up on my shelf. one in the back corner so I can wander over that way, and one in kind of above my closet, which catches that area over there. So this isn't really an ideal setup. I mean, you kind of ideally want them to be in the four corners of the room, perfectly symmetrical and all that, if you're going to do four. But this just is what I happen to do, and it works fine. I can spin around with no major glitches with tracking. Like occasionally I'll get a one frame glitch, but it's no big deal. It doesn't really come into play in games. All right. Let's go ahead and reset. Okay. Single player is the one I'm gonna do. Multiplayer is Echo Arena. You gotta change your music when you're in this menu. Echo Arena is very different from Lone Echo. Lone Echo is a story-based, dramatic adventure game. Echo Arena is a multiplayer online sports game. So they're very different, but they both use the same locomotion mechanics, zero-G locomotion mechanics, which are kind of the focus of this game. Anyway, single player, new game, take it from the top. I'm not playing blind. I've played all the way through this game, beginning to end. It's an excellent game. I usually don't like to play blind because I'll just get stuck for hours on something stupid. For very first time I played this, gonna get some tutorial up in here. Thank you all for making it, everyone who's watching.
Voice log entry. Acknowledged. Recording. Okay. This is Captain Liv Rhodes, personal log entry for 7 of October 2126. This will be my final week aboard Kronos 2. In just a few days, I'll be leaving Saturn behind and making my way to my new assignment on Ceres. A bit odd, actually, saying it out loud.
So here I am in my pod. I'm a robot, as you can see. I'm just like that guy. It's nice how
Anyway, all mining sites are running smoothly. Overnight harvest totals are a bit lower than I'd like. Oh, we had some sputtering on the number 12 RCS thruster, but
Olivia.
Oh, Jack. Good. Hold on a tick.
Finally, she notices
Hera,
me.
pause recording.
Acknowledged, Captain Rhodes.
Morning, sunshine.
Hey.
And how are we feeling today? Jack, are you with me? Hera, let's go ahead and run Jack's calibration program.
Acknowledged.
Right. In you go, Jack. I'll see you in a few.
Module D221, manual dexterity. I am Hera, Central AI for the Kronos 2 Orbital Mining Facility. I will guide you through this calibration program. First, close your hand to form a fist. Now extend your index finger. Good. To proceed, use your index finger to press the hollow button in front of you. Now reach out and grab the glowing disc that just appeared.
So these discs are what you use in Echo Arena. They don't actually show up in Lone Echo at all, except in this training.
When you are ready, throw the disc into the goal in front of you. Target
Goal!
hit. Excellent throw. Calibration module complete. Please stand by. Module M101. Basic motor functions.
All right.
Please pull the handle above you to exit the activation pod. This labor unit will guide you through the module. Now carefully follow it by pulling yourself through the environment using any solid surface.
So this is where you first learn about the zero-G locomotion mechanic that this game is so well known for. It wasn't the very first game to do it. I saw it in other games like The
Please
Climb.
follow the labor unit to proceed.
Shh, Hera, I'm trying to explain something. And the climb had something like it, except that was in regular gravity. I'm going to grab this.
Please take your time and follow the guide.
And it's basically just your hands. When you move your hands, you move your head along with it. So your head always kind of stays in this, you're kind of pulling your viewpoint, pulling the camera along.
Carefully climb up the slope to continue.
And this is surprisingly comfortable. You would think with all this camera motion, it would not be too comfortable. But actually, because you're in full control of all the camera motion, and they also never alter the roll or the pitch, only the yaw, you have a lot of control over what you're doing at all times, and you never get too disoriented.
Now carefully pull yourself forward and release to glide to the exit.
Another title that used this kind of locomotion mechanism was the early Mission ISS, which was intended to be an educational simulation of the International Space Station.
Carefully glide to the exit by letting go as you pull forward.
I'll show you that one another time, but for now, let's get into Lone Echo.
Calibration module complete. Module M205. Maneuvering thrusters. Your hands are equipped with maneuvering thrusters, allowing you to move more freely in zero gravity. Activate left thruster. Activate right thruster. Now please exit the activation pod and use your maneuvering thrusters to reach the door ahead. Thrusters can be used in short bursts or held down for continuous usage.
So the maneuvering thrusters just accelerate you in the direction your hands
Please
are
press
pointing,
the hollow button
which
near
is
the
a really
door to proceed.
which is a really cool way of doing it, since it's easy to turn your hands, a lot easier than turning your entire body like you would have to do with a jetpack. And it means you can even play this game while you're seated reasonably well.
To continue, touch and hold the hollow icon near the door. Good. Now navigate the environment using only your maneuvering thrusters.
So if
Do
I
not
touch
grab any surfaces during this test.
if I touch any of these, I instantly die, go into emergency
Reboot
shutdown,
initiated.
and respawn. You can see
Reminder, please do not touch any surfaces in the hallway.
you can see the pieces of my old body there. It's kind of terrifying the first time you see this, seeing your old body completely destroyed. But because I'm a robot, I can do that. I can even take
Thruster
pieces of my old
calibration
body,
at 50%.
mess around with them. It's really creepy, actually. By the way, I'm pretty sure all these tutorials are taking place in a simulation inside my robot brain, which is an interesting way of doing it. It's kind of like a dream world.
Calibration module complete. Module C-111. Communication. We will now calibrate your communication system. When someone speaks to you, a reply notification may appear above your wrist. You may then respond by holding down the dialogue button on either hand and selecting a reply with your index finger. Hold down the dialogue button now. Input confirmed. Now hold down the dialogue button and select a reply.
Like this?
Correct. Vocal selection acknowledged. Often, you will have a limited time to select a reply. In these cases, silence is considered a viable option. Do you understand?
So I'm just going to reply with silence in this case, just to demonstrate what she was just talking about.
No response registered. Proceeding with calibration. Now exit
Alright.
the activation pod and move into the room ahead.
So that's how I'm going to talk with the other characters in this. It's basically just a dialogue tree, except you trigger it from these controls on your hand. And the audio plays, kind of feels like it's coming from my head when I talk. I'm playing a character named Jack. You're going to learn more about Jack. Everything I say is going to be in Jack's voice.
You can also initiate conversations at points of interest throughout the world. If you look at certain people or objects while you are close to them, their name will appear, and an icon will indicate that you can use the dialogue button. You may then hold down the dialogue button and select an option, just like a reply. Now start a conversation with the labor unit, and speak about the Fury transport model in this room.
So what Hera is telling me is if I aim at something and I see this little talkie icon, that means I can look at it.
The 2 points of interest in the room to continue.
If I do that and then I hold the A button, I can talk about it and have a little conversation about it.
A Mark I Fury transport, 1/48th scale.
Be advised, while real Fury transports can be used to travel to distant locations across the Kronos 2 station, I do not recommend attempting to ride this one.
Noted.
So later on, we're going to see the full-size Fury transports. We're going to use them to ride around. This one is just a toy. Whoa. Zero gravity is fun. Hey there.
Unit 42, what is your primary directive?
To assure the safety and well-being of Kronos 2 station personnel.
What is your secondary directive?
Preserving the integrity of Atlas Corporation property and equipment.
Communication system fully calibrated. Would you like to proceed to the next module?
Let's go.
I'm ready to proceed.
Acknowledged. Please stand by. Module A, 131. Data scanner. Error. Calibration program failure. Stand by for reboot.
So this is where my calibration breaks down, and the rest of the tutorials I'll do later. It's a nice way of introducing things right when they're needed.
Perfect subject for our initial test runs.
This is crap. I'm 1 week from leaving, and you're just now telling me Jack's not coming.
Command wants the Echo unit to assume your duties when you leave for Sirius.
Well, how long has Command known about this?
Liv, I don't think...
How long?
Higher-ups have been discussing it for maybe 6 months.
6 months?
But the final decision didn't come down until late last week.
No, forget it. This is unacceptable.
Command's not really asking for your approval here.
Tell Command to look at our numbers. Look at our harvest totals, purity levels. Our efficiency rating jumps 3 points every quarter. Command wants to see numbers like that on Ceres? I need Jack with me.
Still calling him Jack, huh?
Well, what else would I call him?
Look, I get it. You've been working with that particular unit a while.
Okay, I see where this is going.
But it's a machine. It doesn't actually care about you. Whatever attachment you think you have with it isn't real. It's all just algorithms and subroutines.
This is different. Jack is different.
Either way, it doesn't matter. Your orders stand. The Echo unit is to remain on the station. Understood?
Just hear me out.
Is that understood, Captain Rhodes?
Understood. Kronos 2 out. Jack? What happened?
I want to know what you were talking about.
You were talking to Command.
Oh, yeah. Sorry you had to hear that. Hang on, are you stuck in there?
My diagnostic program crashed.
Well, that's never happened before.
The pod's release procedures may have been affected.
Worked that one out on your own, did you?
I fail to see how sarcasm is going to help.
Sorry, can't help it. Part of my wily British charm.
Weren't you born in space?
You want out of there or not?
A little percussive maintenance. All right, here we are.
Listen, about my conversation with Command, how much did you overhear?
I heard enough to know I'm no longer going with you to Ceres.
Seems you've earned yourself a promotion. The directors want you to take over my duties as station commander. You'll be in charge.
That would make this our last week together.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Look, They just hit me with this news a few minutes ago. I mean, Command splitting us up, I never even considered it a possibility. I'm not entirely sure what to say. Except... I'm sorry, Jack.
There's no need to apologize, Olivia. While the situation is unfortunate, it's not your fault.
Come on then. No sense putting it off. Let's get our last week started. Why don't you go activate the bridge while I pull the overnights?
Copy that.
You guys let me know if the volume levels on the dialogue is okay. And I have now woken up and I'm going to be exploring the ship. This is my partner, my human partner, Olivia. We run this space station together. It's a mining station. We'll learn more about that a bit later. I see questions about whether I'm going to be doing more episodes. I hope to do more episodes. I basically just have to get a system down where it doesn't involve a whole lot of prep. And I can kind of fit it in where I have room in my schedule. It helps a lot if I don't have to set up the green screen. Like for this episode, obviously it's standing VR, and I didn't have to set up the green screen. I just have the camera facing me, facing my door and my wall, and it works pretty much fine because I'm using Oculus Mirror to have the resolution of the title be at 1280, 1024. Swear monkey.
I should activate the bridge.
Don't tell me what to do, Jack.
Your swear count is not increased for nearly 10 hours. Congratulations.
Oh, quit playing with that damn thing. I mean, shit.
Never mind.
Can I do that again?
Ass.
That's way funnier than it should be.
Damn. Shit. Ass.
I wonder if you could make it go all the way to 999 if you had the patience. I wonder what would happen. Kronos 2, Titan Fleet Yards, commissioned July 1st, 2121. Second station to bear the name. Bridge control, activate.
Transitioning to daytime cycle.
Ooh.
I'm really going to miss this part. I'll get started on the morning checklist in a bit. Just give me a moment to soak in this view.
Take your time.
So you have this amazing view of the asteroid belt you can see from here, where we are doing our mining. Well, not the asteroid belt, sorry, we're in actually Saturn's rings, which are made of lots of small, not so much asteroids, but they're like small pieces of rock, various other things. And over there is Saturn.
We do have an especially striking view of Saturn this morning.
Almost like it's showing off. Do you happen to know what gives the planet its unique color?
No, I do not.
I do not. Please tell me.
Ammonia crystals in the upper atmosphere react with... You're just humoring me, aren't you?
I know how much you like to answer your own questions.
Thanks, Jack.
There's a lot of cool little things to explore in the environment and have conversations about. I really recommend if you play this game, you spend some time doing this. It helps. First of all, this is what you do in adventure games. You go around and you look at shit.
So, Jack, I suppose congratulations are in order.
For what?
For your promotion.
There's really no need for that.
Come on now, it's a big deal. In a few days, you'll be Captain Jack. So,
like in Pirates of the
congratulations,
Caribbean.
Captain Jack.
What I mean is, as an Echo unit, I hold no official rank. So technically, I can't be promoted.
Right. Well, that's too bad. Captain Jack has quite the ring to it.
Also, you are the only person who calls me Jack. To everyone else, I am merely Echo 1.
Is that your way of saying you're going to miss me?
I have no...
What was that? Jack, did you feel that?
Shit's about to go down.
Please tell me you can see that.
Affirmative. I see it.
Any idea what it is?
I'm afraid not. There are no records of any such phenomenon in the Atlas Interplanetary Database. It is an anomaly.
What the... Jack, are you alright?
I believe so.
You were glitching out.
The disturbance briefly disrupted my internal systems, but I'm not reading any permanent damage. Liv, it's possible that anomaly is not entirely stable.
You think?
Priority alert.
The holo table. Something's wrong.
I'll investigate.
Hera, initiate broad spectrum scan. Focus on the following coordinates.
Hera, status report.
Multiple Tier 1 malfunctions detected.
Isolate and identify.
Acknowledged. Isolating. Awaiting input. Saturn Orbital Zone Beta.
So this lets you drill down into exactly where our location is.
Orbital Mining Facility. Designation, Kronos 2.
This is our station. And we're about to discover that a bunch of parts of our station just got broken by the pulse coming from that anomaly.
Central Mining Station.
This holographic interface is really cool, by the way. It's hard to tell on your screen, but it's totally 3D. You can go inside it, all around it. You can press in the air to manipulate it. I hope in the future we have hologram tables just like this. Maybe we will with AR. We could just both wear our AR glasses and see stuff on top of a table like this.
Malfunctions isolated.
That is a lot of red.
Perhaps it's not as bad as it looks.
Ground fault recorded in the cargo bay. Possible circuit overload. Reading marked temperature increase in the core containment chamber. Lockdown procedures in effect. Power failure reported in primary oxygen garden. Emergency failsafes triggered.
What, that's it? That's all we've got to go on?
Hera, can you give us an in-depth scan of each affected area?
Negative. Unable to establish communication with cube satellites.
Wait, we lost the CubeSats? How the hell did we... Forget it. Let's just have a look for ourselves. Where are you, you little bugger? Ah, here we are.
The CubeSat.
Jack, could you do us a favor and scan this CubeSat?
I'll need to calibrate my scanner first. Stand by. It'll only be a moment.
Module A-131. Data scanner.
Hi everybody. Hi Vincent Roy.
Your scanning tool allows you to collect data on anything in the environment. Please exit the pod to begin calibrating it.
So, I haven't had much chance to talk because there's a lot of story that goes down in these opening scenes. Probably not going to finish all this today. It's a fairly long game, but I wanted to get started on
Please pull the
it.
release handle to exit the activation pod.
Like I said, they had at the beginning you were kind of supposed to go through all the calibration routines, but they decided to delay some of them until later so that you can get them right before you use them, which I think is a great way of doing tutorials in general.
Please follow me to the disk spawner at the back of the room. Now activate your scanner by pressing the button on top of your hand. Both of your hands have this functionality. Good. Now aim the scanner at the I/O port on the disk spawner and hold the trigger to initiate a scan. After scanning something, its name will appear next to your hand on the scanner's data tab. To see the results of your scan, grasp the tab and pull it away from your hand. Pull the data tab now. Excellent. Use the button on top of your hand to deactivate the scanner now. Good. To complete this module, gather scan data on 5 other materials or objects.
So my scanner, I have these buttons on top of my hands. I just hit them. This is one of your ways of examining the environment.
Scan additional objects or materials to complete this calibration module.
One really interesting thing, notice how until this point you've been able to discuss every object you see with Olivia. Later on, we're not going to be able to talk to Olivia about everything, and then we're going to have to use our scanner to get more information about the environment. So they're always giving you an alternative way to examine and explore the environment.
4 scans remaining. Initiating human sarcasm. I thought we were friends, Echo 1.
Hey, I'm just scanning you. I just want to know more about
3
you.
scans remaining.
There's nothing wrong with getting to know each other here in this virtual reality construct in my mind, okay?
Two scans remaining.
Echo Arena Disc, physical reproduction of the official Echo Arena virtual disc. What else can I scan? Maybe the pod.
You must scan additional objects or materials to complete this calibration module.
Titanium framed carbon fiber Android activation pod. So these are basically my save points, my respawn points. If I die, it makes me a new body in one of these and uploads my consciousness into it, because this is the future. And how about the wall?
1 scan remaining. Calibration module complete. Please stand by.
All set?
Scanner fully calibrated.
Oh, I'm back in the real
Heads up.
world. Hand it over. So these are the CubeSats. They
Give
kind
that
of wander
CubeSat a
around
scan. See if we can
and
work out what's wrong with it.
Scan complete.
Right. Well, what's the story?
According to these readings, something was disrupting the CubeSat's ability to communicate with the rest of the sensor network.
Was?
My scanner appears to have reset the CubeSat's transmitters and restored the connection.
Oh, well, problem solved. All you have to do is find and scan every last CubeSat we have scattered across the entire facility.
Sounds like fun.
Of course, it would to you. I'll send an objective to your ARM computer, but consider it low priority for now.
Objective received.
Right then, on to the real problems. What do you think? What's next?
What's the status with the anomaly scan?
Hera, status update on your scan of the anomaly.
Scan currently 3% complete.
3%? What's the problem?
The sensor network is attempting to perform a full spectrum scan of an unknown entity. It might take a while.
Lovely. Well, in the meantime, we've got 3 Tier 1 malfunctions that need our attention. What do you say we get started on those repairs?
Good idea.
I'll need a few minutes to pull today's command codes off my console. You can just keep yourself occupied till then, I'm sure.
Of course.
So we've just completed the introduction. And next I'm going to head off to repair those 3 major systems that got broken. And we found out that the CubeSats are basically collectibles. You find them, you reactivate them, and they start wandering around the zero-G environment, collecting data again. And each time you activate one, it gives you a little bit more background on the story. I'm not going to scan a whole lot of them. I've never managed to collect them all. I'm going to focus mainly on the main story. If you want to know more about those, I'm sure you can find someone who has 100% played through this game. Alright, meet Liv in the activation chamber. So here you can activate any objective that you want. You can turn them off and on. This turns on your waypoints that help guide you to that objective. What were you doing in there, Liv? Ooh. Oh yeah, this is Liv's bedroom. It's my bedroom now. So there's a lot of just random, I'm sure there are a lot of like, some of these are just background to the story, and some of these I think are like references to obscure things that I don't recognize. Adam.
Are you going to leave these behind?
I hadn't really thought about it. Why, do you want to keep them?
And what purpose would I have for toy dinosaurs?
Oh, something to remember me by?
You forget my memory is archived. I can remember you anytime I wish.
Suit yourself, but it won't be the same.
Floating dinosaur! The only thing scarier than a dinosaur is a zero-gravity floating dinosaur. Patches.
These patches are from Liv's previous missions. Looks like she'll need a new plaque for the Kronos 2 mission.
There's so much detail in these textures. Get out of the way, dinosaur. You can see like the texture of the fabric. They designed every one of them. They all have little labels that are clearly legible. There's a lot of detail in this game. You can get really up close with things. Jack, do not touch. If you say so. Ooh, they stick. Yeah. I lost one. Mind the gap. That's pretty cool. Is this magnetic or is it Velcro? I can't actually tell. That's one of the transport units. You'll see more of that later. Ah, sometimes the locomotion gets a little bit weird when you grab the wrong surface by mistake. So you can see the objective marker in the corner of my eye. It's telling me that Liv is over there. I'm gonna go join her in a minute. I just want to explore this a bit more. Who is this? Galileo Galilei. How did they get his signature?
These are all items I've given to Liv. She appears to have kept them in excellent condition.
Aw, from Jack. That's sweet. I like these glow-in-the-dark star stickers against the actual background of stars. There are a lot of really cute little details in this game. And I guess this is her sleeping chamber. She just, because you know, zero gravity, she can just lie back against the side here and just chill out. It's one of the hard things about this game is you want to simulate zero gravity, but it's really hard to get that feeling of like not knowing which way is up, of like being on the ceiling and it still feels like the floor. So I don't really know how they simulate that effectively when you're on Earth. Maybe in the future when we're in space with VR, it's going to be the opposite. It'll be like hard to simulate an environment with gravity. Anyway, let's get out of here. Oh, what's this? Exercise equipment.
There will be no use for this equipment once the station is fully automated. My own motor functions do not atrophy.
That's really useful. Robots don't need to exercise. They just need maintenance. Alright, let's get started on our repair mission. Stop wasting time.
Ready when you are.
Come on then. Let's go sort out those malfunctions. Not the best way to start our last week. Don't believe we've ever seen this many malfunctions all at the same time.
We've also never had an unidentified spatial anomaly suddenly appear directly off our port bow.
It's a day of firsts, really.
You do realize it's possible we just made a groundbreaking scientific discovery.
Well, let's not go writing our Nobel acceptance speeches just yet. Well, at least not until we're certain the station isn't going to fall apart. Ah, what the...
Warning, unsecured cargo in the hold.
Yeah, that much I worked out. Can you tell me why we have unsecured cargo in the hold?
Negative.
Okay, well, we might want to look into that.
So over there's another
All right,
robot.
Jack. Looks like there's a lot to do this morning.
Any priority alerts?
Well, it'll be your station soon. What problem do you want to tackle first?
Send the data to my ARM computer. I'll have a look.
Ah. Okay, I've got this.
Let's see.
Take a look at your objectives on your ARM computer and let me know which one you want to address first.
How about the core containment?
Let's investigate the temperature spike in core containment.
Okay, follow me.
So this is the part of the game where you get past story and you start solving actual puzzles.
Find anything?
Nothing conclusive. Your body is radiation hardened. Care to take a look inside?
I'll see what I can ascertain.
Hera, disable all containment safety protocols and unseal the hatch.
Acknowledged. Awaiting manual operation.
Head on in. I'll see you on the other side.
Oh sure, send the robot in to do your dirty radiation work. I see how it is.
You'll need to seal yourself in before we can expose the cause, Jack.
I should finish calibrating my radiation shield before we continue.
Acknowledged. Standing by.
Alright, time for another tutorial. There's a lot of tutorials in the early game.
Module A, 251. Radiation shield.
I'm pretty sure this objectives is not supposed to be up.
Your scanner can detect hazardous radiation fields capable of damaging you. Please activate your scanner and use it to assess the irradiated area ahead. Your scanner places tracking points that display the area's radiation level. When you are ready to proceed, please exit the activation pod. Your radiation shield will protect you for a limited time. A shield meter is located on both of your wrists below your ARM computer. You can use this to monitor your shield levels. Now please use your scanner to find the least hazardous route through the room and reach the exit.
So you're supposed to use your scanner to get the radiation level
Levels of radiation will drain your
of
shield faster.
each
The
area.
radiation monitor on your wrist displays the radiation level of your current location. Please keep it in mind.
So you can see these areas here are 2 and 3. They're some of
Shields
the
at
lowest.
50%.
Oh shit.
If your shield is depleted, your body will suffer irreparable.
Well, that went poorly.
Reboot initiated.
My shield can only absorb so much radiation before sustaining irreparable damage.
So there's my dead body over there, all curled up like a fetus. I think the easiest way to get through here is actually to not even bother scanning everything, but just to kind of... Like, I haven't figured out...
To navigate the radiation
I think the
field,
lower
remain to the
numbers...
side.
I think the lower numbers are actually higher radiation, and the smaller numbers have less radiation, or the larger numbers have less radiation, which is a little bit confusing.
Shields at 95%.
So you can see my shields are going down here, but a lot more slowly than they were when I was going right over that part.
You can draw energy from induction panels to replenish your radiation shield. This module will complete when your shield is fully recharged. Please pull the handle toward you to begin recharging. Calibration module complete. Please stand by.
Radiation shield fully operational.
Copy that. Let's get started by opening the core enclosures. The code is 5826.
Oh, I did it wrong.
Authorization accepted. Warning. Radiological activity detected.
Well, that explains the temperature spike.
At least one of the fusion cores is leaking radiation.
Your scanner should help you zero in on the source.
So this game is, I wouldn't call it a game that requires a lot of skill. It's on rails for most of it. It really directs you on what to do. A lot of games I see on the Rift so far have this in common. Like I played through, why am I blanking on the name? I played through the horror game, not the one where you're like, there are vampires and you're in a hospital. Wilson's Heart. And in Wilson's Heart, again, it was very linear, very on rails. They pretty much told you exactly what to do. There were no like ways to get lost. And I think they're doing this intentionally because they want to really focus on the parts that are new and challenging, which is the locomotion.
Shields at 95%.
I might be dying. That's okay. The parts that are new and challenging, like they want to focus on how do you do locomotion, how do you do interaction, how do you do dialogue and characters and settings and lighting, and basically how do you make it a visually compelling and easy to interact with experience that people can actually get through before they think about ramping up the actual challenge level and introducing some more dynamic components. So I think that's just kind of a symptom of it being early in the Rift's life cycle. And I think as things get later, they're going to go back and kind of make things less linear. We'll see how that goes. For now, I gotta find the source of the radiation.
Pretty far off the mark. Try scanning somewhere else. Not getting any warmer. Try scanning in another direction. Nice shot. I'd say that warrants a closer look. I'll activate the I/O port so you can scan it to open the enclosure.
Enclosure unlocked.
You'll need to scan the individual cores to determine which is causing the problem.
The other reason I think they make these so linear is when you have a game that's more exploratory, you have to build out all the content for all of the alternate routes, and that just costs more money. And so I think they were more focused on building out one route, making it really solid, and then driving everyone along that one route, rather than trying to make a whole bunch of different routes you can follow. That's right. Okay, I need to scan these.
Microfractures in the fuel assembly. Radiation at unsafe levels.
That could contaminate the entire fuel reserve. We'll need to jettison the core. To unlock it, enter 6102 at the central console.
Core released.
Bring it to the disposal conduit at the bottom of the chamber.
I mean, this is linear to the point that they don't even randomize what cores are radiated in this part. It's literally the same ones every time you play the game. So, like I said, it's really linear. They're driving you along one path, but I feel like that's okay for where we are right now. But I do hope to see that improve in the future.
Emergency disposal conduit online. Fusion core marked for disposal. Stand by. Awaiting manual confirmation.
Once you open the conduit, you'll need to seat the core into the launch tube and use the lever to eject it. Keep
Way
an eye
ahead
on
of
your
you,
shield
Lit.
levels while you're in transit.
The area is still irradiated.
There has to be another damaged core. Check the other enclosures.
I'll keep looking.
A second hotspot. I'm activating the I/O port so you can check the enclosure.
Shields at 50%.
50%? I better hurry. Oh, figures it would be the last one I check.
This core is similarly damaged.
Bloody hell. It has to go. Punch in 7641 at the central console to unlock it. Same routine here. Run it to the disposal conduit and jettison the core.
I actually really like this part of the game, not just because it's kind of slow-paced and low stress, but because you really feel like you're not only developing a relationship with Liv, but you're also like you're feeling what it's like to have a job on a space station. Like if they're like, oh, there's a problem in the core and you're the robot that's radiation proof, you better go in there and replace some of the cores. It's like, okay, just another day on the job, I guess. And it's like a brief vision of what jobs might be like in space in the future. I think that's pretty cool.
Emergency disposal conduit online. Fusion core marked for disposal. Stand by. Shields at 30%. Awaiting manual confirmation. Radioactive material jettisoned.
Radiation levels returning to normal.
Thank God for that. Looks like we live to fight another day. Let's shut the enclosures so we can get you out of there. Re-enter the code in the center console. 5826.
Core containment re-engaged.
You're looking a bit worse for wear. Maybe you should use your ARM computer to upload to another shell?
Sure, let's do it. Reboot.
Initiating manual reboot.
Reboot initiated.
So that's one of the cool things you can do when you're a robot. You can be like, oh, this body is so like riddled with radiation. I guess I'll just switch to a new one. And here I am. There's my old body.
I'll meet you on the other side, by the hatch.
So that's about what I was looking like when I had 30% remaining. It's kind of cool because it gives you like a third-party perspective on your character, but it's also super creepy. I cannot get over how creepy it looks to be manipulating your dead body on a routine basis. Let me spin around so I don't mess up my cable.
Looking sharp, Jack. Did you get dolled up for me?
I know you like it when I look my best.
Such a gentleman. We should reseal the hatch before we move on, Jack.
Oh, right. Don't want to irradiate the station, do I? So you'll see when I pull my hand away from the lever while I'm holding
Chamber
it.
temperature is back within normal limits. Nice job in there, Jack.
Thank you.
Well, there's still the ground fault in the cargo bay and the power failure in the oxygen garden. What's next on the agenda?
Let's go ahead and take care of the cargo bay next.
Let's get the cargo bay squared away.
All right. One of the cargo banks must be malfunctioning. We probably blew a fuse. I'd start by checking the fuse compartment at each cargo bank. Hera, unlock them, please. Just don't pull any good fuses, or we'll have loads more cleanup to do.
So what I was trying to tell you is the way that grabbing things works in this game is...
We aren't troubleshooting this problem yet. I should follow Liv.
You feel like you're grabbing it, and there's a lot of good haptic feedback through the haptics of the touch controller. But if you move your hand too far away from it, then it can't move your hand away while keeping it on the control. So it shows this ghost hand that shows where your hand actually is, but your robot hand is still shown on the control. So that's how they deal with that. Everyone has a different approach to this. If you look at how Job Simulator did it, if you like take a tomato and you throw your hand right through the table, the tomato comes out of your hand turns into a ghost hand, goes through the table. Everyone has to deal with this differently. In the future, when we have some kind of real resistance to our haptics, we'll be able to just grab things and pull on them, and our
Check the
hand...
fuse compartments, Jack. See if you can find a blown fuse.
Liv, I'm trying to explain VR, okay? Anyway, so in the future, I hope when we have resistance haptics, it'll be able to actually hold your hand in place, so you try and pull, but your hand is stuck there because you're grabbing something. But that's a real challenge to do, because to resist that amount of force requires quite a bit of mechanical energy. Anyway, she's telling me there's a problem with the fuse compartment, which is right over here.
Something's interrupted the power flow. Probably warrants a closer look. I think I've located the problem. This fuse is blown. We'll need a replacement.
Affirmative. Wait there, I'll bring you a new one from the supply drawers.
I can get it myself. I guess she's just trying to be helpful. Can't let the robot do everything. I'm just
This
gonna
should do it.
throw that away.
Thank you.
Got you covered.
Power flow restored. Maglocks coming online.
Copy that. Go ahead and secure the cargo.
I should put this away. Strong contact from the maglocks. That's one down.
Whoa, whoa, did you notice that? I'm gonna do that again. Okay, watch this, watch this. So if I grab this and I hurl myself towards that cargo, and then I grab it, I believe it actually will slow down my speed at the moment I grab the cargo, which is what would actually happen because of conservation of momentum. As your mass increases, your velocity decreases to conserve momentum. So that's a very nice detail they added there. They paid a lot of attention to the zero-G mechanics in this game, and it really shows. Oh, it's a little comsat. I don't know why we just let things float around in our station. That doesn't exactly seem like it's good for the systems. Oh, hey there. Labor unit.
Unit 16, what is your current assignment?
Current assignment. Separate Captain Rhodes' personal effects from Atlas Corporation property in preparation for her upcoming departure.
Acknowledged. Carry on.
That's pretty harsh, assigning a robot to get all your shit so that they can kick you out. Those are some heartless robots.
Just one more to go.
Damn it. There we go.
Cargo secure.
Let's lock the system down to make sure this doesn't happen again.
I'll throw the lockdown lever.
Lockdown engaged.
Thanks, Jack. I feel better already. Let's move on, shall we? Well, the power failure in the oxygen garden is all that's left. Follow me, Jack.
What? Whoa. Personal space, Liv.
Looks like the power failure knocked out the door to the oxygen garden. I'll pull the manual release. And of course, the access panel is stuck. Jack, I think you're going to have to cut through.
I'll need to calibrate my reactive cutter first.
Right. Considering the power outage, Let's also calibrate your entry light.
So this is one of the coolest
Please
tools.
initiate manual input on your ARM computer.
This is one of the coolest tools in the game. I really like
Module
it.
A 901. Reactive cutter. Please exit the activation pod and proceed to the door ahead.
So the reactive cutter is one of my favorite tools in the game. You only use it occasionally, but it's really fun to
Activate
use.
your reactive cutter by pressing the glowing touch point on the underside of your wrist. Highlighting cuttable surface. Use the reactive cutter to cut through the highlighted brackets.
So the reactive cutter melts through metal. You can see you can cut any metal that's highlighted. You can make like a little path through it if you want to.
Please cut through the highlighted brackets to proceed.
I can go like this. As long as I disconnect the two components from each other, it doesn't matter exactly how I do
Cutter
it.
functionality test complete. Lift open the door to proceed.
So somebody had to code up this connectivity code to see if these two parts were actually like broken apart from
Highlighting
each
cuttable
other.
surface. Use your reactive cutter to cut out a portion of the highlighted panel. Once you have cut away enough of the panel, press the hollow button to complete this calibration module.
You'll notice it makes little squares. And they did that, I assume, just because otherwise the connectivity problem would be rather difficult to do with arbitrary vectors.
Please press the hollow button to complete the calibration module.
And then I can just grab this piece I cut out, I can mess with it, and its shape is totally dynamically determined by how I cut it. I think they must have invested quite a bit of coding in getting this particular mechanic working correctly. But it does offer quite a bit of freedom. Like, I can take this, and I can cut it into two pieces. Look at this. This is stupidly flexible. There's no need for this, and I love it. And I can spin it.
Please press the hollow button to complete the calibration module.
Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Okay, let's get out of here.
Calibration module complete. Please stand by. Module H-144. Helmet visor. You can open and close your helmet visor by pressing the button on the left side of your helmet with your index finger. Please open your helmet visor now. Now please exit the activation pod and proceed to the room ahead.
So this is one of those interesting choices. You can press... why is it not working? You can press the left side.
Please pull the release handle to exit the activation pod.
You can press the left side of your helmet to put the visor up and down. As far as I can tell, the visor doesn't actually do anything. I think it's just to make you feel a bit more like you have a helmet on, maybe offer a measure of comfort against motion sickness because it offers you this static frame of reference, kind of like a cockpit. Naturally, I prefer to keep it off. I'm a robot. I don't breathe in space. I don't need a helmet. So...
You can activate your headlamp by pressing a button on the right side of your helmet. Once your headlamp is on, shine it on my location. Well done. I am moving to new coordinates in the next room. Find me and shine your headlamp on my location.
A fun thing you can do in this game is you can make like shadow puppets with the headlamp. So I could be like, what can I do here? Need to make like a bunny.
Please proceed to the next room.
Hera, relax. So like here's a... Can I make a bird? That's not a very good bird. I kind of suck at shadow puppets. That's what I've learned today. This is getting a little creepy.
I am somewhere in the obstacle room.
I can hear
Find
exactly
me
where
and
you
shine your
are.
headlamp on my location. Excellent. Please press the button on the right side of your helmet to turn off the headlamp and complete the module.
All right, let's go in the darkness.
Calibration module complete.
Reactive cutter and headlamp calibrated successfully.
Copy that. Cut through the access panel so we can pull the door release handle.
I have to wonder when I go into those tutorials, like, am I in there for like 5 minutes and my robot body just locks up? Or does it all go like super speed in my brain and like I only takes like 5 seconds from Liv's perspective? This is one of the details that is never explained. So cool. All right, let's go.
Excellent. Follow me. Let's get started. Hope you're not afraid of the dark. Can you use your headlamp to help me find the electrical grid maintenance panel?
Affirmative.
CubeSat. Let's go ahead and scan this.
An encrypted audio file. Curious. When the anomaly scrambled the CubeSat, it inadvertently connected them to a secure Atlas Corporation network. If I scan more of them, I may be able to crack the encryption. Olivia, I've located the maintenance panel.
Perfect. Keep your light on it for a moment while I remove the cover.
You got it. Does she actually need the
Jack.
light on it? Oh,
Coming through.
sorry. Go ahead. You can't just toss things around, Liv. What? How did that
Looks like
just...
We've got some fused wiring.
That
Status
was a
report.
bug.
The short caused a full system crash. We'll need to reset each of the environmental controls. Can you find the emergency junction while I sort out this mess?
So... You notice how there, where she was going past me, she was saying like, excuse me, I need to get past you. There's a lot of that kind of thing about like personal space and body language around the characters where like if you try and get up too close to her, she'll complain. And if she has to go through where you are, she'll like say, excuse me. So there's a lot of attention to just space and how the characters interact, which is really cool. And they can afford to do that because there are so few human characters and so few characters in general, especially characters with bodies. And so that gives them a lot of opportunity to just really optimize.
So we can start the diagnostics.
Really optimize those interactions as well as they possibly can.
You will certainly be leaving Kronos 2 with a vast surplus of duct tape, Liv.
That's because duct tape fixes everything.
Everything?
What? You don't think so?
It cannot.
No, it can't. I have repair schematics for over 50,000 hardware profiles, and none of them mention duct tape.
You're just not being creative enough.
As you say, Captain.
How am I going to run a station by myself if I don't even know how to use duct tape properly? Stupid robot. Okay, let's get in here.
I've reached the junction cover. Did you bring a spanner?
Just cut through the bolts. We can deal with the cleanup after we figure out what's wrong with the station.
Affirmative. Going hot.
So this is how they make an excuse in the narrative for you to be just cutting through things and destroying things and leaving shit all over the place. They say, oh, we'll just clean it up later because this is an emergency. Which is, it's kind of reasonable.
Electronic interface. I'll need to use my scanner to link up with the I/O port. Emergency power online.
The backup conduit only has enough juice to diagnose one system at a time. Go ahead and get started when you're ready.
Okay, let's go ahead here. O2 balancer cover. Gotta do more cutting.
The O2 mixture is off. I'll need to adjust the levels of atmospheric exchange.
Careful with that, Jack. One of us still has to breathe the air here for the next few days.
So here's where you start getting into some of the little mini games. Like, this is basically just a mini game operated with these levers and controls. Like, this is nothing like what a real space station system would look like. But they have to make you feel like you're like doing something, like you have some kind of skill as an engineer on this station. So this is what they do. So you can see I have this one in range, the CO2 not quite in range.
Bioregenerative systems calibrated.
CO2 capture optimized for both plant and mammalian passengers.
Mammalian, huh? How flattering.
Apologies, Liv. I didn't mean to sound clinical.
Once I'm gone, you'll probably be able to shut down this project.
I think I'll keep it, actually, to add color.
Jack, you aren't starting to enjoy botany, are you?
Is that unusual?
Depends who you ask. Use the junction to select another system.
The transformer can't form a complete circuit.
We probably need to realign the coils. Run a scan to confirm.
The coils have been damaged.
Shit. Unlock them so we can get a closer look.
Conversion coils unlocked.
Ooh,
As long as we can still form one complete row, we should be able to get the transformer back online.
that does not look good. This thing is roasted. There we go.
Power current stabilized.
Conversion process successful. Current strong.
Nice job. Once I finish replacing these wires, we should be able to get the lights on.
See, I've done 3
That's
jobs
2 down. Let's tackle the last system.
in the time it takes her to do 1. Inferior humans, am I right? Check out these plants. One thing I really like about this game is how, as you approach a flat surface, your hands spread out on it, and you can't go through it. You just kind of knock off it. So it really feels like a solid surface. In any other VR game, you'd be able to walk up to this and kind of stick your head through it. Here, if you try that, you just ram your head into it, and it won't let you do it. So it's a real barrier.
The irrigation system is powered on. I should check the pressure levels.
Incidentally, these blue bars that you see all over the place for navigating the zero-G environment, they have bars just like this on the actual International Space Station. This is how they get around in zero-G. Like, you can grab any surface you want, but it's just really convenient to have bars around that you can grab and throw yourself off of. They do not have thrusters on their hands in the real ISS, which are really convenient. I think they should get some.
The alert must have shut down water flow to the hydroponic systems.
It's designed to seal the main reservoir in case of a breach. You'll need to pump the handle to restore pressure to the plumbing.
Alright, so this one is just a matter of pumping this handle until we get into the right range. There we go.
Water flow restored.
Irrigation system within operating parameters.
Good. That should help keep the plants healthy.
I really love this water animation. It really...
Sarah, verify all oxygen garden subsystems.
Subsystems within normal parameters.
Right. I'm about done here. Do you see the access panel near me?
On my way. Let me guess. I have to cut.
I see the access panel.
Good. Now listen carefully. To restore power to the sector, we need a priming current in the power coupling. That means... you'll need to wait and throw the main breaker on my mark. Got it?
Acknowledged. I will await your command before throwing the breaker. Removing utility cover. Please stand by.
I've got to pump the primer handle before you throw the breaker. Let me know when you're ready and I'll count us down.
I'm just having fun with the laser cutter.
On your command.
Acknowledged. Throw the switch in 3, 2, 1. I'm clear.
Oxygen garden operational. Environmental control systems restored.
That's one more system we don't have to worry about.
Hopefully it stays that way.
Don't jinx it, Jack. There's no wood to knock on around here.
Alright, so we fixed those 3 primary subsystems.
All
That
right,
means...
that ought to do it. We're all set. Hey, Jack. High five. There you go. I appreciate the help, Jack.
That's what I'm here for.
And here I thought it was to keep me from going round the bend.
That is also true. As your Echo unit, I am charged with ensuring your safety and well-being. That includes monitoring your demeanor for signs of mental instability.
You're joking.
No, not at all. Were I not here, it is entirely possible you'd have thrown yourself out an airlock by now. Statistically speaking, of course.
Okay. There's a thought that's going to linger. Thanks for that.
Captain Rhodes, full spectrum scan of the anomaly is complete.
All right, Hera. Push the results to the holo table in the EVA staging area.
Acknowledged.
Come on, Jack. Let's go have a look at the results. Maybe we'll learn something useful about this anomaly of ours.
That does seem likely, considering we currently know nothing at all.
Suppose I can't argue with that. Okay, Jack. Let's see what we have.
Hera, status report.
Status green. All systems nominal.
Well, that's good news. But what about our anomaly? Where is it?
Hera, display the anomaly's current location.
Acknowledged.
Ah, there we go. Wait, hang on. Hera, is this image to scale?
Affirmative.
So the anomaly has increased in size.
Not a good sign. Let's get a closer look. Okay, let's see.
Curious.
I can't make head nor tail out of any of this data. What about you?
The data appears to have been corrupted somehow.
It's the same for all the readings. Spectrometer, interferometer, LiDAR. All rubbish.
Interference from the anomaly must be disrupting the transmission signal.
So, our sensor network is useless. What now?
I guess it's up to me.
I'll exit the station and investigate the anomaly up close.
Absolutely not.
If I use my scanner, I can bypass the sensor network. I'll be able to examine the data in real time.
We've seen what that thing can do to your systems. What if you get shut down out there?
I'm specifically designed for operation in hazardous environments. It only makes sense. Besides, we need to determine the nature of this anomaly. And I suggest we do so quickly.
Okay. Okay, well... no sense wasting any more time then. Let's get you into the airlock, sharpish.
Caution. Airlock opening.
Don't worry, Liv. I'll be fine.
I know. I just wish we had another option. Well, no sense in putting it off. Let's get you out the airlock.
All right.
If you're going out there, you'll need an EVA rig. There should be some inside the airlock.
Once I
Just take
get
one off the
these,
rack.
it actually adds more interaction abilities to me.
You'll need to secure the rig to your back.
EVA rig secured. Initializing advanced movement systems. Stand by for calibration. Module M-201. Primary boosters. Your EVA pack allows you to boost forward in the direction you are looking. When you are ready, please exit the activation pod and use your EVA boost to reach the console ahead.
So the EVA pack gives me 2 more abilities. One is boost, which
Well
looks like
done.
that.
Please press the hollow button to continue. Now boost to the end of the hall before the walls close in on you. Multiple boosts may be required. Excellent. Module M-116. Braking thrusters. This module will calibrate your braking thrusters, which allow you to stop in place without grabbing any surface. Please exit the activation pod and proceed to the room ahead.
So in real life, I'm not sure how you would actually make braking thrusters because they have to essentially
There are
counteract.
2 target zones in the next room. Please boost into one of the zones and use your braking thrusters to come to a full stop.
So the thing with that is the only way that, like, braking is all relative to your environment. So in order to brake effectively, you would have to sense your motion relative to the
Please boost
environment
into either zone and use your brake to come to a full stop.
and use that.
Success. Now, use your braking thrusters to stop inside target zone A.
So in order for this to work in real life, you would have to have some kind of optical sensing of the environment, and you would have to basically use your thrusters to counteract any vection in the environment. And that's conceivably possible, but I've never heard of a device doing that.
Calibration module complete. Please stand by.
EVA rig fully functional, ready to disembark.
Copy. Airlock controls unlocked. Pull down on the handle to close the inner door.
Will do. Let's cycle this airlock.
Once the inner door is sealed, you're clear to cycle the airlock.
Inner bulkhead sealed.
Why
Once
does
the
my
airlock is
helmet come
cycled,
down?
Head outside and make your way to the anomaly. Get a scan if possible, but don't put yourself at any unnecessary risk.
Understood.
I'm going back up to the bridge. I can keep a better eye on your status from there. Keep this comm channel open. Maintain constant contact.
Copy that.
Liv is really worried about me. I don't know why my helmet comes down. I'm a robot. I don't need to breathe. I guess these suits are the same for everybody.
Depressurization
Jack?
complete.
Yes.
Ready for EVA departure.
Be careful out there.
I'm always careful.
You know what I mean.
Exiting portside airlock.
Copy. There should be a Fury transport docked just outside the airlock. Should take you straight to the anomaly. You'll need to run a diagnostic check before you can take off.
Understood.
So you might have seen a little bit of loading glitches as we, as we came into this part, because it has just loaded the rest of the station and the entire surrounding area. This is when the game really opens up and lets you explore a lot more. It lets you explore over much longer distances and gives you a little bit more control over in what order you want to do things, although, again, it is relatively linear. All right, let's head for that anomaly. Look at the size of this station. It's enormous. This is way bigger than the ISS. The ISS is like the size of an apartment. This is like the size of multiple shopping malls. It is really big.
Prep for RCS thruster calibration. Please hold on to the railing for the duration of the test flight. Initiating RCS thruster test. In 3, 2, 1.
So this is a Fury transport. Helps me to get around.
RCS thruster check complete. Proceeding to primary thruster calibration. Reminder, please hold on to the railing. Igniting primary thrusters. In 3, 2, 1.
Whoa. Whoa.
Fury transport calibration complete.
Liv, the Fury transport is set for flight.
Select
Great.
your destination.
Coordinates have already been uploaded to the navcon. Just touch the marked location on the holomap and you'll be on your way. I'll monitor you from the bridge. Good luck.
Notice how when you look at certain objects, that's Janus. That's one of the moons of Saturn. I think you can see all the moons of Saturn around here. There's Mimas. Comsat F7. I never noticed that before. I guess that's how we communicate with High Command, but it appears to be down right now. There are Epimethus, and what's that one? Enceladus. Damn, Saturn has a lot of moons. Seriously. Okay, let's go. We're gonna figure out what this anomaly is once and for all.
I'm underway. Distance to anomaly, 4,800 meters.
Copy that. I have a visual on your transport.
Note how when you look behind you, you can
3,500
see
meters.
your body stretching out behind you. As
2,000 meters.
Steady as she goes.
As the
Godspeed.
transport accelerates.
Look at that thing.
There's Daphnis.
Just incredible.
Oh shit.
Jack!
The Fury is malfunctioning. I have no control. I'm drifting toward the anomaly.
Remote link's been severed. I can't reboot the transport.
Oh shit. Time to get out of here.
Jack, the Fury has completely dropped off my scope. Total loss of signal. It's gone.
On approach, I noticed the anomaly was pulling surrounding debris into its center.
You think the anomaly's housing some kind of singularity?
That would be consistent with my observations,
Shit.
yes. Needless to say, I doubt we'll be seeing that Fury transport again.
Okay. Well, so much for scanning the anomaly up close.
So, after narrowly escaping my death, that transport is gone. It is gone. So, now I use my EVA pack to boost back toward the station. I think I'm actually going to stop next at the primary dig site. But before I do that, well, okay, I'm going to get down to the primary dig site. And then I am going to save my game because I think I am... Oh, it's missing. It's loading the high geometry version. Give it a second.
I think those disturbances might actually be electromagnetic pulses. You might not
There
be able
it
to scan
is.
the anomaly up close, but I think we can reconfigure a geological sensor to do the trick.
How so?
Well, if we can use it to read fluctuations in the magnetic field, we should be able to get a look inside. There's just several problems.
Go on.
I've got failures all over the facility. For this plan to work, we'll first need to clear up some problems in the container field, the primary dig site, and the processing line.
Send the details to my ARM computer.
Done. Let me know when you arrive at the sites.
So I've just been given 3 new objectives. One of them is going to be at the primary dig site. So this is a mining facility. Here is where we mine ore. Over there in the container field is where we store the mined ore, so it can be shuttled off to wherever people go and use it. And the processing line is inside there. And I assume that has something to do with how the ore gets processed prior to shipping. Although, as you'll see, it seems to have very little to do with actual processing once you're in there. Anyway, this is going to be all for today. I just wanted to get started. And I wanted to get through the initial part of the story, get out here into the main station, and be floating around out in space. And now that I've gotten here, it's a very hot day here in San Mateo, and it's even worse with my GPU, my 1080 Ti, blasting at full power. So I'm going to take a rest and cool off. I will see you guys in the next stream. It was good to see you all again, and I will endeavor to stream more often and to make it as often as I can, because there are a lot of titles to play and I have a lot of them in my libraries, and a lot of them are not as well known as Lone Echo, but still are very cool. So I want to definitely explore those. Anyway, next time, continue Lone Echo. I will see you guys then, and everybody have a great every day.